Van D, a dynamic leader with decades of experience building companies and crushing sales. He's been there and done that.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello. My name is Van D.
Inspiring audiences across the country to do it too. Here's Van.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Van D podcast. I'm so excited to be with you. You know, I want to tell you something. This topic today is extremely relevant in what we're all dealing with in our society. The time is now. You know how I end just about every newsletter that I write? For those of you that aren't getting my newsletters, go to vandeeb.com and click on my subscribe to my newsletter. You get it once a month, and it's basically a lot of the same content I do on my podcast, but it's just in print so you can have it to remind you, or you can forward it to people. But I end every newsletter with the saying, if not me, then who? And if not now, then when? And I want to tell you something. That's what we're going to dive into today. The time is now. In all of my years, I don't recall ever seeing such uncertainty. As you will notice in my tone of voice, I'm a little incensed from just about every spectrum, from business to the economy to humanity. You know, as of this podcast today, we've already had around 40 mass shootings in the United States this year alone. And heck, it's only been less than 5 weeks into the new year. Our national debt is the highest it's ever been. Companies, this is what really gets me. Companies are hiring people with titles called Director of Kindness. Seriously? We have to teach people how to be kind. Is that where we're at today? So we have people in our companies with titles Director of Kindness. In my favorite industry, I've been in for 40 years, real estate, a lot of people are waiting to see what the interest rates will do. Once again, the time is now. Let me quote Oprah Winfrey. This quote is something that I really believe in. On my own, I will just create. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, I'll create something else. I don't have any limitations on what I think I could do or be. That's the attitude, ladies and gentlemen, that we all need to have. Now, my message today to everybody is, what are we waiting for? We are not promised tomorrow. The time is now. We live in a world right now where there is so much uncertainty that we should not depend on other people to make our decisions. Look at our lawmakers. Our lawmakers, congressmen, senators, and I don't mean to generalize everybody, but the majority of them, they have no clue about gun control. It's probably easier to go in a store and get a pack of gum or to buy a gun than to get a pack of gum today. Honestly, it's common sense. I like what Ken Perot said. Right now is the best time to create your tomorrow. So this is the stuff I want to talk to you about today. Even in the business world, which is my world, service is not what it used to be. I can't tell you how many times I've gone up to purchase something in a store or wherever, and the salesperson, even at a grocery store, and the salesperson just looked at me, didn't say hello, didn't say, can I help you, just looks at me. And me being a motivational speaker and a personal development specialist, professional development specialist, I want to educate these people. I want to tell them the proper way to greet people and how to make people feel like they matter when they come into your store. But I won't educate them on the proper introduction because I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to offend what their manager has taught them, or in this case, what they haven't taught them, which is nothing. As you already know, my philosophy, I believe everything starts at the top. It's all about leadership. All about leadership. If you don't have great leadership, you're not going to have great people that are under you, that are looking to you for leadership. When I do consulting and I go to these big Fortune 500 companies or the small mom and pop shops, the majority of their problems that they have and the challenges they have are all led back to their supervisor or the owner or the leadership team. So some of the things I want you to think about while I'm going through this with you today. One of the greatest, this is what Shannon Adler says, one of the greatest regrets in life is being what others would want you to be rather than being yourself. If you don't want to put up with this stuff, then don't. Separate yourself from people that aren't giving you their all. And I want to tell you something. The behavioral traits of a successful person all have one thing in common. You know what that is? It's passion. And that doesn't have anything to do with money. It's passion to be the best version of yourself. When I walk into a deli, let's just say a grocery store in their deli, and I'm using that as an example because I bought a dehydrating machine and I'm kind of geeked out. I'm dehydrating all kinds of meat. I'm dehydrating apples and bananas, and I'm having a blast. But I go to this one grocery store, which I won't mention, and I'm not going there anymore. I'm driving. It's real close to my house, but I'm driving farther away now because of the service. I walk up to the deli, and this same dude just kind of looks at me. Doesn't say hello, doesn't say, what can I get for you? Just looks at me. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Obviously, this guy does not have any passion for what he does for a living. I just don't understand. You know, we can improve if we want to. Those of us that have the constant desire to improve are the ones that do. It's the truth. So, I'm not a complainer. You're not used to me complaining about anything because it's just not who I am. So I'm going to ask you, now let's talk solutions. What can we do about what we're seeing every day? Well, let's talk about that. Well, for one, we can quit depending on other people to make our lives happy, and we can do the right thing. We can start concentrating on our God-given talent, and we can make bold decisions to make our life better. One of those decisions may be, if you're me, and like I say, I only preach to you what I preach to myself and what I experience. One of the decisions to make our life better, ladies and gentlemen, may be to completely stay away from anything negative. That includes negative news, negative people, shopping at places that don't make you feel like you're appreciated, like I just was telling you about. That includes not waiting for anything, and making a plan and a timeline to accomplish what we want to fill our definition of success. Everybody's definition of success is different. We have to make the decision to thrive, not just to survive. I'm a big fan that we need to make God more of our foundation and recognize the power of prayer. But we have this ability. If you're working for somebody that doesn't appreciate you, if you're working for somebody or a company that coworkers aren't treating you well and you're not excited about going to work, only you can make that decision. I realize it's not that easy. You might have a family to feed, but at least start making a plan of action. Make a decision to make a plan to get out of that environment. The time is now. If you feel you've been in an industry for a long time and you're ready to start your own company, what are you waiting for? This is your life. You know, like Michael Altshuler says, the bad news is that time flies. The good news is that you're the pilot. You know, my mom used to say to me, for good reason, you are your own worst enemy in life. Well, it's the truth. Anything that I've experienced, challenges or anything bad that's happened to me, I had something to do with in my life. I was non-conforming, a little rebellious, and wild to say the least. In the same breath, anything good that's happened in my life, I had something to do with that. We have to make the decision to make a decision. So let's talk about real estate, which is what I've done more than half my life. As a matter of fact, this is my 40th year helping people make the biggest decisions of their life, and that's buying and selling real estate. And you know, I'm still in the industry. A lot of you know I sold my company, Deeb Realty, in 2009 to my general manager. They kept the name Deeb Realty forever, and then they recently changed it to Nebraska Realty. It's all my old staff, and they're doing wonderful. So I was just going to do nothing but motivational speak and help people get from point A to point B. But I missed real estate. And what I also missed is, so of course I was only out of it for about 30 minutes. I opened up another company in 2011, but I'm doing real estate not just to help buyers and sellers with the biggest decision of their life, but I'm also doing it because it makes me more relevant when I sit down with salespeople, when I'm doing workshops, keynote speeches. I'm drinking the water so it makes me more relevant. But for all those home buyers and sellers out there, I can tell you with my 40 years experience in the industry, do not wait. You want to buy a home and you're prepared financially today, then go do it. If you want to sell your home and you're prepared with, any repairs that needed to be done, the house looks good and it's presentable. If not, you're going to get less money, but that may be okay with you too. But if you're ready to go, then what are you waiting for? Do it now. If you're a salesperson with your company and you've always had the back of your mind, I want to be the top salesman. I want to be number one in my company. What are you waiting for? Put together a plan of action to help you get there. Everything starts with a plan of attack. There's nothing we as human beings can't do if we want it bad enough. And if you're lacking that kind of confidence, you got a great resource. I'll consult with you. And by the time we're done visiting, how many sessions it takes, you're going to be the most confident person in the world. Just reach out to me at van@vandeeb.com. There's nothing we can't do. So if you want to be a great salesperson, a great manager, if you want to be promoted, do all the things you need to do to get there now. Or maybe you just, want to be the best parent, the best son, the best daughter. There's things you can do to become better at all that. There's always ways we can become better parents. I have a 34-year-old daughter that I could become a better parent to. She could do things to become a better daughter. We all have these abilities. We can be better husbands, wives, spouses, significant others, better employees, better employers. The time is now if we're going to want to be these people. So here's what I want to remind everybody. If you're not going to contribute to the betterment of everything you're involved in, at the very least, stay out of the people's way that are trying to make a difference. Surround yourself with people that have the same desires and drive and determination that you do to make a difference. I want to tell you this, people in our world need us now more than ever. They need your best. They need your compassion. They need your empathy. They need your love. L-O-V-E. They need your love. As you know, I write newsletters and I do podcasts about topics that I have experienced myself. Either I've had good experiences or I've had bad experiences. But let me tell you something. Here I'm preaching to you right now. The time is now. The time is now. Well, guess what? I'm very guilty of what I'm talking about to you today. I have been saying for years, I'm going to start building my speaking business bigger than it already has been the last 20 years. And you know what? I haven't, because all of my business comes from people in my audience telling people about me. Referrals, this and that. But can I build my speaking business? Yes. I've got to get on the phone and call people. Hey, I've got a great presentation to help your people. I've got to do emails. I've got to get more on social media. I've got to send out handwritten notes. I'm saying to myself more than I ever have. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid that I'm saying to you today. The time is now. Those of you that follow me on social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, you're going to start seeing a ton of my stuff because I love to help people get to where they want to go. And with my experiences in business, in sales, and in leadership, I can help people get to where they want to go a lot faster than anybody else. And I guarantee that. You know, most speakers are happy with, 2 speaking events a month. Well, I've been very blessed just about my whole life to double that. But I'm drinking the water. The time is now. I'd love it if you wrote down on a pad and just put at the top, what am I waiting for? I need to do the following. And then make a list. You don't have to do it all in one day. Make a list. Maybe it's personal. Maybe you want to better yourself, maybe with your physical fitness, with your eating habits. I want to tell you something about eating habits. I eat pretty dang clean. I'm 63 years old, and I feel like I'm 36. I have never felt this good because I put good things in my body. If we want to be the best we can be, we got to do things like that. We got to take care of ourselves. You don't want to be average going through life. One thing I don't want to do, I don't want to end every year saying I was the exact same person this year. What a bummer. How boring would that be to say every year I'm the same, I never change? No. Every year we should say, I accomplished this. I eliminated these things out of my life that contributed to a better life. I added these things in my life to contribute to a better life. Change is good. If you want to be an above average person and live an above average life, you've got to do above average things, like maybe take care of yourself better, be around positive people, eliminate the negatives. Ladies and gentlemen, repeat after me right now. Just repeat after me. The time is now. We're not promised tomorrow. We live in a crazy, crazy world right now, but we can be really happy in it. Instead of indulging what we're experiencing, we can change the game. We can change the narrative. Stay away from all of those things that are keeping you from being the best version of yourself. The time is now, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, I'm passionate about this topic because I know that if we get this attitude, our lives are going to change. That's a fact. So I hope this has been a little thought-provoking. I could go on forever about this. Maybe invite me to your company to speak and I'll help change people's lives. You can go to vandeeb.com to learn more about me or any social media. I really hope this has been thought-provoking for you to see things a little differently and maybe reprioritize your life of what really matters and protecting it. Protecting what really matters by being active in it. Action. Action. Don't just talk about it. I'm going to eliminate this from my life because it's bringing me down. I'm going to quit this job because I hate coming to work. Action. It's like I tell people, don't tell me you love me, show me. We all can do acts of love to show people how you feel about them. We need it now more than ever. We need people to show us that we matter. Show us that they love us. Show us that we're important. The time is now. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to turn our dreams into our reality and live our life our way and not depend on the outcomes of other entities. The time is now. And like I end my newsletters, if not me, then who? And if not now, then when? What are we waiting for, ladies and gentlemen? All right, so let's do this. Think of things that you can do right now that's going to make your life better. I'm grateful for you joining me today. Please share this podcast with anybody you think that needs a boost. You can always look me up at vandeeb.com. My email is vandeeb.com. And please subscribe to this podcast so you get them every month right in your inbox. Subscribe to this podcast on any platform, Apple, Spotify, wherever you're at. Subscribe and let me be part of your life and help you become better and make your life more meaningful. We have that God-given ability. Have a great day. Thank you for listening. I'm always grateful for you. Thank you.
A Hurrdat Media Production.